Good morning. Sorry for the delay. We've had several technical difficulties. Um, so if you give me time, I'm having to run off of two computers. Really make some fun here. Anyway, good morning and welcome to View from Military Mind live um, on Saturday morning. February, or excuse me, I'm backtracking. April 25th. We're supposed to have started at 9:25, or excuse me, at 9 o'clock, but now we're at 9:25. You can see how it's been. Things are confusing this morning already. Um, but look, again, welcome to View from Military Mind. This is views and opinions about world and national events from the minds of men and women that are defending and have defended our freedoms for the past 244 years. Unfiltered, unedited, and definitely not PC. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and move out. I'm on both Facebook and I'm also on YouTube. So for all of you that are watching, the messengers are open, the chat rooms are open. Go ahead and send me questions, comments, things of that nature. We'll do the best we can to respond to all of them we've got. Um, it's kind of a free for all Saturday. We'll be on here for about an hour, and we're going to just kind of feel our way around. There's a few things I want to look at that have come up across the week. Some topics that are near and dear to me that I want to talk about today. And I would really like to get everybody's input. If you can't get on a chat and you're just listening to this, go ahead and you can email me at view from military view from excuse me VFAMM 2020 at gmail.com. Give me time, I'll get this right one way or the other. You can also go to our website, viewfrommilitarymind.com, and click on the link down there where you can send your comments and stuff to us. I do have the email up, and I can read those as they come across also. So, again, I invite everybody to participate. Go ahead and clock in there and let me know what you think and what you'd like to hear. And we'll go ahead and get moving here. All right, I'm waiting for our Facebook to come up. Hello, Facebook. Glad everybody is there. And waiting slowly. YouTubers, hang on to me here. Hang on just a second. Yeah, Facebook is acting really strange this morning. All right. Good morning, Facebook. How are y'all doing this morning? Welcome to View from Military Mind live on Saturday, April 25th. We are a little delayed, about 30 minutes. We have some technical difficulties. As you see, you're coming in on the back side of this. YouTube is already up. And again, I invite you all to enter your chat messages there. Interact with me, ask questions that you want to see. Um, you can go to our website, reviewfrommilitarymind.com, and go to the tab down there at the bottom and send us an email, or you can email us direct at VFAMM2020 at gmail.com. VFAMM2020 at gmail.com. And you can send us your comments and requests. If there's any questions that you have, by all means, send those also. I really like for you to interact. I want to bring this program up as best I can. Really like for everybody to get involved. But like I said, it's kind of a free for all day. There's things that we'll talk about. That's why I need your questions and things of that nature. Let me know what you think, what you see, um, what your opinions are. So please join us. The first couple of things I'm going to get into here are going to be. I need to move the microphone here. Yeah, I look like a microphone guru. Um, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I muted it. All right, and I'm back again. Um, a couple of things that's come through the news during the week that I'd like to take a look at. Uh, it's really got my interest up. Uh, on the 24th, from Washington Examiner, they'd put out kind of bashing the Democrats with this new bill that's coming through. Um, they they're saying that Speaker Pelosi had introduced a dishonestly named "Take Responsibility for Workers and Families Act," trying to push through legislation for N95 masks, social distancing, avoiding the virus, things of that bit much. Only problem was, um, it was given a whole lot of power to labor union bosses at the expense of the workers and the businesses. So here's the Democrats trying to force unionization in the middle of this coronavirus. Not the time to be doing that. Okay, need to take a look at that thing later on. Once we open the country up, why do we want to give money to union bosses and unions? Well, a lot of their workers are out of work, um, all because of the particular things that are going on here. So why do we want to do something like that? If you've got comments on that, please, by all means, bring it up. Let me know what you think about it. We'll go from there. Um, I don't agree with it. I was union at one time, so I'm not unfamiliar with what's going on with that, what they do. I'm not a big union supporter. They were good when they were first put up and designed. Um, Now they're nothing more than a political force that the upper echelons of the union make a whole lot of money and their people below them don't, or they've got to give up a whole lot of stuff. We've seen um, retirements go away. We've seen jobs go away when the unions get so greedy and they price their people right out of work. So let me know what your opinion on that is. You can either send it to me in the email or in the chat room. By all means, let me know. Um, I'm not going to argue with you over things. We'll talk about it, see your viewpoint, um, and everybody's got their own views. A lot of people that unions have helped them out through the years, and there are times that happens. Let me know what you think about that, and we'll move on to the next subject. See what we got here in chat on the Book of Face. Don't see a whole lot going on there. See what we can get going here. Like I said, this is just kind of a free for all day. Cameras don't like to cooperate with me. Neither is my keyboard. So this is just kind of a test. This is the first time I've done this where I've run both um, YouTube and Facebook at the same time. My computer did not like running both of them, so I've had to go to two computers. Makes life really, really interesting. Um, so we'll see what we can do here. Um, yeah, I don't need that on there. All right, I'm back again. So from time to time, I'll bounce back and forth and take a look at the different pages, and hopefully you can hear me on all the pages. Um, Another thing I want to take a look at, and this come out April 18th, and it really, really bothers me because this is near and dear to me, being that I am a dust offer or medevac. Um, was a crew chief for quite some time. It says here the U.S. military is cutting medevac flights for troops in West Africa. Now, what bothers me the most about this, number one, is they're cutting the medevacs. It's absolutely stupid and insane to take out your medical evacuation or your dust off from our troops who are in harm's way. I don't care whether it's 50 or 5,000. In this case, um, it doesn't exactly give me the amount of troops that are there, which really is it's not the main concern what the numbers are. But they have a contractor, Ericsson's. Ericsson Aviation is there in West Africa providing medevac support to our special forces troops who are there. That's ridiculous. First off, why do we have a contractor again taking military personnel's jobs? They said, well, we don't have enough people. Yeah, because like the unions, you've pissed us away and brought all these contractors in here. This is something that President Eisenhower warned us about 60 years ago, 61 years ago, about the military industrial machine. And all these people who've gotten out of the military, all these politicians, and all these big businessmen have decided to take over military operations. Well, you know what? The way I feel about it, if that's what you want to do, you go ahead and let our men and women get out of the Army and quit getting shot at protecting these contractors. And that's another subject I'll get into later on in the show. Um, I have a very big case of heartburn over contractors doing our job when our men and women are trained for it. So we'll get into that later on. Anyway, back to this medevac issue. Um, they're the lawmakers and actually military officials are starting to raise some sand over it. That the responsibility for any casualty evacuation flights will now fall to a single H-225 Super Puma um, in, an, in Niger's capital, Niamey. And that's by another contractor, Berry Aviation. Um, so, number one, you're down to one helicopter in a centralized location that's far, far away. You have no backup aircraft in case that single one aircraft breaks. Now you've really put yourself in a bind. What are you going to do? You going to leave them on the battlefield? We've proven in Afghanistan and Iraq uh, and various other conflicts, even Vietnam, where it really got started, that the golden hour is just that. That is the golden hour to get proper care to injured and wounded troops. Why in the name of God would you go and eliminate that standard because you have contract problems? Okay. My next question is why in the name of God would you take a civilian contractor, put him in that position when you have trained military medevacs that know how to do the job? They're in the guard, they're in the reserves, and they're in the active duty. Why would you do that? Oh, that's right. Somebody's not making money. Somebody's not making money off of it. So you're going to make money off the backs of our troops that have been injured and wounded because some general or some colonel or some politician or some big business CEO decided he wanted to make frickin' money or secure his way forward after he retires so he can go to these contractors and make more big money. This is ridiculous. Um, they say they put more restrictions on our ground forces there in West Africa because of the ambush in October uh, in 2017 that left 4 American soldiers dead. Well, when you put them out there with no support, what do you expect is going to happen? Now, granted, these are special forces soldiers that are out there. They're highly trained. They're highly technical. They know what they're doing. But our leaders have lost their ever loving mind, and they don't provide support anymore. But wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. We'll hire a contractor. They can do it. They can do it. Well, we see how that works. That's not working so well, is it? Uh, Now you're fighting with contracts and everything else. I can go on and on. I can get on a 2 hour diatribe about this. Um, I do not support having contractors as heavily as we've got them doing the things they are doing in place of our troops, especially when you hear them making comments that, well, we're doing it because you guys don't know how to do it. Well, you damn right we don't know how to do it because we got USOBs out there doing it for us and somebody in the hierarchy telling us we can't take it away from you. We have to give it to you. So, yeah, that'll don't ever tell me that a contractor is a good thing for us. It's nothing but a money making proposition for somebody that's got a lot going on elsewhere. Anyway, time for me to move on to another subject. We'll talk about contractors later, but yeah, that's what they're doing. They're taking the medevac away from our troops in West Africa and putting them into under one aircraft that's quite a ways away. Um, and this is an ethical obligation besides being a required obligation. Why in the Again, we get into the golden hour standard. Um, Now it's saying that it could possibly take up to 4 hours to evacuate somebody if they get too far out from where this main one is stationed at. Right now there's 1,200 troops in West Africa. About 800 of them are in Niger. Good Lord. You can put an FSMP out there, a forward support medical platoon, which are self deployable, self sustainable. And that's 3 aircraft with 4 medics, 4 crew chiefs, plethora of pilots, and uh, your command structure, your minimal command structure. Somebody says, "Oh, that'll cost us a lot." No, take a look at what you're spending on these medevac contractors. Research it. Find out what you can find out. Um, it wouldn't surprise me that we're paying twice as much for the contractors for their aircraft and their air crews and their support system than what it would cost us to have something that's already in place. So you tell me what you think. Um, Defense Secretary Mark Esper is looking at deep cuts to American troops on the continent in Africa. Closing a new $110 million drone base in Niger and ending aid to the French forces battling militants who are surging in Mali and Niger and Burkina Faso. So I don't know. Uh, you're leaving our troops out there with no support, no protection, and we didn't learn anything from other wars where we've done that, or from, we didn't learn anything from Vietnam where we developed this system and proved that it works. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to the next subject here. Um, it's crazy. So, what do y'all think about the state bailouts that's been proposed? Yes, no, really don't. I don't know. Do we want to put more money into the to states that should have done what they were doing before this coronavirus? I'm not sure. So if y'all get a chance to, email me VFAMM2020 or leave me a message on our Facebook page, viewfrommilitarymind.com, um, or Dust Off Diaries. We get those also. That's our sister Facebook page and program. Um, Tell me what you think about state bailouts for the coronavirus. Give me your opinion. We'll put those all together and we'll come up with something for a show here later on this week. But yeah, tell me what you think. I really haven't developed an opinion on that yet. I really don't want to see a whole bunch of money spent out to governments that should have had some kind of emergency contingency. Of course, this is a unique situation, but my kind of feeling is we take care of the people first because they pay the taxes, they pay the spend the money to keep businesses stuff going. So, like I said, write to me at VFAMM2020 Let me know what you think. Go to our website, viewfrommilitarymind.com, and leave a comment on there. Email it to us. So anyway, moving on to the next thing, state bailouts. That's going to be an interesting topic. I'd really love to get into that some more. We know about President Trump's little warning to Iran about we will blow them out of the water. Sounds like a good idea to me. Uh, they've been bad actors to begin with, but I see the viewpoint that's coming out. He says we'll shoot them out of the water. Okay, there's rules of engagement for across the military, and you have to follow those to a point. Um, Harassment is not a reason to kill a bunch of people. It's just like on the civilian side, if somebody is harassing you, giving you a hard time, uh, are you going to go out and kill them just because they're harassing you? No, most of the time you're probably going to ignore them or try to figure out some way to stop the harassment, short of murder, hopefully. Uh, I don't know about you, but jail time's not worth stupid things. Now, we've seen the videos of the boats running around, and they're not pointing weapons at them. Now, whether they're loaded or not, I couldn't tell you. I don't see what they've got. It appears the machine gun on a couple of them do have belts fed. Don't know if it's charged or not. Usually, when you feed it, you charge it. It'd be stupid not to. But the Iranians have not fired on them that reports are telling us. When they start getting into issues like that, now the 10-foot encroachment zone where they got within 10 foot of the vessel, to me that's a hostile act, because you can use that vessel to ram one of our boats, one of our ships. You Navy guys out there, you Marines, shoot me a message and shoot me an email on that. Give me what your viewpoint on that is. You've been on the vessels, you've been out there, you know how this is trained out. You'll probably be a little bit more familiar with the rules of engagement than I am. I'm not Navy, I'm Army. Of course, you can see I've got Army National Guard flag back there. Marine Corps is, a tribute to my wife. You know how Marines are; they get a little. But anyway, we'll leave that one alone. But back on this issue with Iran, I'm glad to see the warnings put out, and I know President Trump's not going to draw that red line in the sand, and then everybody kicking around and step over it. When he puts a red line there, it's usually with a permanent marker, and it's not going to be a good response unless they heed and pay attention. So, another one down. You Navy guys, Marines, let me know what you think. Uh, get your opinions. Let's get them on the show. We'll get that for during the week and look at it. Now, the topic that I was talking about earlier that really gets my ire up: contractors, military contractors. What the hell are we doing? Um, on March 14th, uh, your military put out a report. Come from Texas Tech University and the Royal Danish Defense College. These two individuals cooperated, talking about private contractors in Iraq and Afghanistan. Um, Now, just a little bit of numbers I've got for right now. As of December 31st, 2019, there are 24,202 contractors in Afghanistan. 4,951 of those are contract security. They protect fob entrances and airport ramp entrances, um, HVTs, high value targets, or HVPs, high value persons, generals, things like that, politicians that come in there. Uh, but they're doing all the ancillary stuff out there. That leaves 19,251 for support, i.e., your chow hall, your hangar maintenance, your aircraft maintenance, base maintenance, all kinds of contract stuff. The same contract things you would see here in the states, um, in your basic cities. What your everyday people do. These contractors are doing the same thing. All right. There's only 12,000 troops in country right now, approximately. We're not going to get the actual number, because that's an operational security issue. So, and they plan on having about 8,600 later on this year. That leaves 1.6 contractors per soldier, or airman, marine, whatever's there. Might as well say two contractors per military person over there. We've got twice the number of contractors than we do combat troops. Oh, and guess what? Combat troops have to protect those contractors. The majority of contractors over there, 90%, are not armed. Yes, your contract security are armed. A lot of them do carry all the time. But all your support personnel, your mess hall or your DFAC, whatever you call it, your administrative personnel, and all your mechanics that are there taking work away from our troops, they're not armed. They're not going to protect themselves. They're going to find the nearest bunker, run into it, and hide and crap all over themselves. Um, Granted, a lot of them are former military personnel, but if you talk to them, most of them spent one tour in, got just enough experience to be dangerous. Um, I can speak from the aviation side of the house, or it just simply drove me crazy. I've got men and women that are under my purview that are excellent aircraft mechanics, and they're specialists in their field, both general mechanics and hydraulics and prop rotor and all kinds of stuff that they do. But when you go into a production control meeting to plan out your work, and you're told specifically you're going to send that to Dynacore, or you're going to send that to KBR, or you're going to send it to Axiom, you're going to send it to some other contractor to do all the work. And when you ask why, they're, well, your people aren't experienced. Well, no shit, they're not experienced because I can't get them to work on the aircraft because you're sending them to a contractor that has less experience and bring it back to us, and we got to we got to fix and rework what was done. Okay, you see how excited I get about this? I really get upset, and it's the same thing across the board uh, with the different um, job classifications. It's absolutely ludicrous. Um, and the Army, from what I see, is one of the worst ones about it. You might as well, with the number of contractors you have doing our soldiers' job, except for combat, you might as well just shut the Army down and let the contractors take it. Why in the hell am I there putting my life on the line to protect a bunch of contractors and do my job and answer to my command? That's stupid. We don't need these contractors there. Not all of them that we've got. A little bit, but not the number we've got now. People are making billions off of this. And people ask me, well, why are you so butthurt over this? There's a good reason I'm butthurt. Because you're destroying our military in order to line someone's pocket. It's ignorant. It's absolutely nut. And to top it all off, the costs of it. These contractors are not required to publicly divulge what their income is, what the number of people they have there. A lot of them operate in the shadows, and there's no effective public oversight. And this is allowing policymakers to have their cake and eat it too. We look like we're withdrawing, but we're keeping proxy forces in theater. We're keeping proxy support in theater. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Um, there's all kinds of gap in data on these contractors, and some of you out there that'll be listening to this broadcast are probably contractors. This is not against you, okay? Unless you're part of that hierarchy that writes contracts and bids on all this mess, you're just out there trying to make a living. I get it. There's other ways to do it. Um, yeah, it's hard to get data about the private military contractors, mainly because of proprietary business secrets. Um, Despite those companies acting as proxies of the state, they're not legally obligated to share information with the public on their actions, organization, or labor force. Well, that's interesting. I have to tell you approximately how many troops I have in country, how they're organized, and what actions they take. But I'm going to take and spend twice as much over here on this contractor, but I ain't got to tell you shit. Now, how in the world do you do that? Doesn't make sense. You can take all that money you give to these contractors, give it to the military, all the branches across the board, increase their pay, better their equipment, incentive for bringing more people in, and keeping them longer. Why are we spending this money out here on these contractors? Why? Most of these guys are young. When I say young, they're under 50. Okay. But you get an old fart like me that's almost 60 years old still out there, doing it to it. And I'm trying to protect my young troops. You can't do it because you're fighting the military industrial machine. They're saying that security contractors comprise just about 10 to 20% of DoD contractors in Afghanistan and Iraq. Um, okay. Do you need those additional personnel out there to fight? If you're out there as a mercenary That's what we used to call them. And you are used to be a Ranger, Green Beret, Delta, SEAL, Air Force Special Ops. You got out because you got tired of it, but now you're a contractor. Oh, that's right. You're gonna make more money. Generals, DoD, Pentagon. You see what I'm saying here? Instead of spending that money out there on a contractor who's raping us, put that into the military. Now, every day, every year, we fuss and holler about NDAA for a new budget, but we can't get it because we're spending it on contractors. Figure that one out. How's those books work? All right. So anyway, contractors, bane to my existence. Um, they keep going on. They're talking about the war machine being run on contracts, and it pretty much is. It's yeah. Uh, you can get into all the different. I mean, even in January this year, um, far back as October, they're talking about U.S. forces in 2020 in the fiscal year, what kind of things we're going to have, and the number of contractors we're going to have in order to support our military personnel. Hmm. If you've ever been around military overseas, excuse me, it's a rough day, and watch what they do. They pass the contract around about like we pass our hand-me-down clothes around. It happens all the time. You may go in today, and Dynacor is your preferred flavor of contractor for the day, and you come in tomorrow, and it may be KBR. You come in the next day, your next preferred flavor may be Axiom, or L3, or S2, or any number of contractors that have sprouted up since 9/11. And these people don't care. They're out there for that dollar. They know they're going to be protected by our troops, and they bounce this contract around like a rubber ball. And you never know from one minute to the next what's going to happen. What quality of people are you going to have? Um, their vetting process is absolutely minimal. I say that because I've been through their vetting processes. I've been asked to go to work for some of these companies. Nah, I have no desire to do that. First off, my butt's staying in the United States. I'm not going anywhere anymore. I'm sorry, you don't pay me enough to go over there without a weapon to do that work and get shot at. Not gonna happen. So anyway, moving on to the next one. All right, we don't have a whole lot coming up on our chats and our message boards, and hopefully I can, as we go along, we can get more people to come on board. I know it's early. That's another thing. If it's too early on a Saturday morning, let me know. We'll change that around. We're in the process of building this and putting it all together. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like to see happen. So so please, I want you to be part of this and go from there. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're coming up on the end mark of what our time was set for. I know it's only a 30-minute show. I do apologize for that. Like I said, we had a lot of technical difficulties, but I don't want to run past my allocated times. So, for those of you that did join us, that are out there just kind of watching, just kind of looking, I appreciate it. Again, you can visit us at viewfrommilitarymind.com. You can write to me at VFAMM2020. You can view this later on YouTube. You can also view the uh, the stream later on Facebook. It'll be there for a while. I don't delete them. I leave them in there. I make mistakes, so yeah, I'll leave them out there for comedy relief. Why not? Um, Also, to let everybody know, we started this past Monday. We'll continue on with it every day. We have the View from Military Mind daily views. It's a 30-minute program released by noon every day. Um, Come on there. If anybody would like to be a guest on the show, I would love to have you come along. Write to me at vfamm2020 at gmail.com. and we'll bring you on as a guest, as a remote guest. We can get you all set up. I would love to have veterans come on and prominent figures within the community that have a viewpoint on this, that know what's up, and can kind of steer us around and let us know what's going on. So anyway, um, it is now 10 o'clock in Alabama, which is Central Time, 11 o'clock in the East Coast. I appreciate everybody who has come on, and I will see you all a little later. Don't forget about our troops. Keep them in your prayers. Be safe. Be kind. God bless you. And God bless the United States.